So this will be Flash Your Stash number 2, and I just wanted to show you how the top shelf of cotton stuff turned out. As you can see, just quite nice. And now I'm going to show you how horrible all of the rest of my yarn shelf looks. The second shelf is supposed to be bulky and super bulky yarns. Does it look like there's a lot there? No, just this little bit in the corner, and all the rest of this is random stuff. And this is shelf 3, which is all of the bigger skeins of yarn, mostly the Hirschner's Worsted 8, Karen 1 pound, etc. And all the way out in the bottom is, well, used to primarily be Red Heart Super Saver, and now it is just all things. That is my shelf of all of my packaged ice yarns that have yet to be used, so they don't need to be separated. Up on top, there are 2 bags. Those are the underbed storage bags that are full of yarn. And I have, down here under my desk, 2 bins full of stuff to go through as well. So it's going to take me a while to get through all of this. Everyone, Random Randy here, back for Flash Your Stash number 2 for 2018. Today is Monday, it's May 14th, I believe. I don't know what date it is, it's the day after Mother's Day. We'll leave it at that. So as you can see, I have more yarn in front of me that I'm going to go through, and I already pretty much know what I'm going to be letting go of this time, but I'm still going to go through it and organize it so I can get to it easier, because that's my biggest problem right now is access. So, first 2 things that you will see, these are jumbo balls of blanket yarn. I want to say we got these at Michael's, so they're actually a 7 weight, they're not even a 6, so I have a gray and a red. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I've tried to work with them on several occasions, and I mean, if you've never seen this stuff in person, just to show you up close how huge this is my hand, which is a rather large hand. I'd say that this is probably ½ an inch across. Ridiculous. And I do have a 50mm hook, and I have the 50mm needles to go along with it, you know, the giant vampire stake size knitting needles. I do want to use these, but I don't know for what. If anybody has any suggestions for what to do with jumbo yarn aside from finger knitting, like a project that you can do with it, that would be awesome. I'm gonna put these on the shelf. I'm just gonna kind of work my way across here. So next I have got all of this Deborah Norville Serenity Chunky Sequins. I will be keeping these. I'd actually like to do a project with these sometime in the not too terribly distant future, perhaps. And these are a bulky weight yarn. They're a 5. Got 2 white, a black, and a red. Oh, and I also have a cowl, which I made with 1 skein of the chunky sequins that I did not like the way it turned out, so I'm going to frog this to reclaim it to use. So that can stay there for now. This is a Big Twist Chunky in Chunky Monarch. This is also a bulky weight yarn. And these are some mill ends, but they are also Big Twist Chunky. Going to be keeping these. I just need to actually wind these with my cake winder because messy. Next thing is this bag of purple bulky mill ends. And it's purple, but it has a darker purple that's almost black in it. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that or not. If I hide my face behind it, maybe. But yeah. So there's pretty much a whole pound's worth of this. I am going to be keeping this. It says mixed fibers, but I'm pretty sure it's just acrylic. Doesn't feel like wool. Next up is all of my Charisma yarn from Michaels. And I have a whole bunch of this colorway, which is called Dragonfly, which I use for pretty much anything. This color reminds me of the Joker from the 90s Batman cartoons, and also vaguely of Riddler colors. So, if you're a DC Comics nerd or a DC Universe nerd, there you go. I am going to be keeping these. I do need to rewind these though, because oh my lord, they're such a mess. And I always end up getting the skeins that don't actually have ball bands. They've just been taped back together at the store. Don't know why that is. I have one skein of Northern Lights, which is purples, greens, blues, which I really like. And I have 2 and some change of this pink one that I don't have ball bands for, so I don't know. Pink and gray and black. Oh, and this is more chunky, big twist chunky. I don't remember the colorway of this, but it's just a brown. Goes with the orange. Almost done with the bulky stuff. Have a bunch of this random homespun that's kind of in icy blue and white. Not sure what I'm going to do with this. I might actually just destash this because I don't have any other homespun, and I don't have any intention of buying other homespun unless somebody asks me to make them a blanket with it again. So I'm going to set this to the side until I can be sure what I'm going to do with it. Pretty sure I'm going to let that go though. Other stuff, Burnout blanket yarn. I still have more than I thought I did. And I actually just started making crochet reusable water balloons this morning. So the brighter colors I will be doing that with. Not sure what I'm going to be doing with these darker colors. Have a brown, have a gray and white stripe. This is a full ball. Maybe I'll have to figure out something to do with this. But I have a partial of this white, green, blue speckle. I have a full of the same. Apparently this is called Funny Prints. I have this patriotic one, which is definitely going to become water balloons. And have this solid kind of taupe, brownish gray. Hello, Mr. Cat. I wonder... I might actually be able to make a few small, toasty comfort blankets. Not necessarily one that would be big enough to cover a kid, but a little fuzzy blanket shaped like cute toast, like I made the big one before. Might do that with these. So that's that. I'm gonna get that put up on the shelf. Next is a lot of glittery type yarn. Mr. Kitty, can I please get you to move, bud? Come on. Sit in the chair. Sit in the chair. Sit in the chair. Thank you. There we go. All good. No, stay right there. Stay right there. You don't need to get back up here. Thanks. Alright, so I have Red Heart with Love Metallic, which you probably can't. Oh, I guess you can see the glitter a little bit there. Black. Speaking of black, hello, Mr. Black. Yes, I love you, dear. I love you. Kitty, kitty. Kitty face. Oh, do you see you? You see you on the screen? Goofy. Here. Why don't you go sit in front of the fan, bud? So anyway, definitely keeping those because those are new. Also have a red and a teal, which I'm keeping. Make that 2 reds. And then this is just called Royal. Some Karen Simply Soft Party in a red, blue, spring green, and a light purple. Definitely going to be keeping those. This will get used eventually. This is a Lion Brand Pound of Love. This is Cherry. I still have it in the bag because it didn't really make sense to me to unwrap it if I wasn't going to use it yet. Then I have my bin of small balls of yarn and partials. These are all either acrylic or cotton. So I'm actually going to go through my cotton stuff and see what I can make for small washcloths with it. And 2 stray balls of ice yarn, miscellaneous sail. It's the striping stuff I used for my corner to corner blue, tan, and gray blanket. So scrap bucket. So got that stuff put away. Put in my hair because it's like 84 degrees here today and I am dying. There's a fan on in the hallway, but it's low enough that hopefully it's not too terribly loud once I edit the noise out. Fingers crossed. So, last bit of stuff that I have. This is, depending upon how much it will potentially cost to ship it, I'm gonna have to check and see how much this would cost to ship. I would like to destash this. This is a buttercream rainbow boucle. It's an 8-ounce ball, and this is in the princess colorway. Around this time last year, I also bought a giant skein of ice cream Tutti Frutti and made that little circle vest for a neighbor's daughter. And I was debating between that colorway and this, and she's kind of a little bit more of a tomboy, so I thought that the frilly pink wasn't quite her. I've just been sitting on this. I'm not gonna use it. Just not gonna use it, and it doesn't make sense to just keep it here if I know I'm not going to use it. So this is gonna go in the get out of my house pile. Other stuff. I will have to weigh this to see how much it is, but this is Caron Simply Soft in some yellow color. I do not know what color yellow this would be. I'll have to research that if I do post it, but I'm probably going to be. This was a 1 pound skein of this stuff, but I used this yellow to make the minion hat for Killian's Halloween costume, and I have a whole bunch of it, and I hate working with Caron Simply Soft. Splits too much, not a fan. I don't care how nice it feels. If I can't work with it, it doesn't matter. So all of these are definitely going to be going. In line with Caron Simply Soft, I needed a teeny tiny little bit of green that I used from this for the Down on the Farm playmat. I actually used it for the background for it, and this is also Caron Simply Soft. This is a green. This was a mill end again, but you can definitely tell by the way it feels, by the way it has the shine to it, that this is Caron Simply Soft. Not quite sure how much this weighs. I will weigh it, and once it's up in my shop, you'll know too. Have this, which is a was small to start with, skein of Premier Eversoft. This is the Paradise Sunset colorway. I actually made a little amigurumi stuffed bear to send to donate to the sheriff's department where my mother-in-law works, for teddy bears to give to kids that have been through trauma. Actually that's what I should probably do with this. I should use this and make some other stuff to send to them and get a whole box's worth of amigurumi to send off to them. That's a good plan. Do that with this. And the last thing. This is Loops and Threads Impeccable. This was from the Big Ball. This is before I had the big ball winder, so when you take a big skein of yarn and you try to wind it into cakes, this is what happens. You end up with a bunch of them. I am going to be keeping this. This was the Rainbow Bright colorway from the Impeccable Big Ball. You get Impeccable at Michael's, and as you can see, it's rainbow colors. I make all sorts of amigurumi with this. This would be good for more stuff to make to put in the box to send to the sheriff's department. So keeping that. So that is it for that shelf. So I got rid of about the same quantity of stuff that I did last time, but being able to look through it and having the ability to let go of things I know I'm not going to use, I feel like is a good skill, and hopefully as I progress there will be some more things that I will be able to either let go or make plans for. So, with that in mind, when was the last time you assessed your stash? With it being spring cleaning time, might not be a bad idea. by the time this is edited and uploaded, I should have everything I'm for sure destashing up in my shop. And I did end up selling the cotton I was destashing. I'm fairly certain somebody who bought it was one of my viewers, which is awesome. So keep an eye out for that stuff. The link to my Etsy shop will always be in the description box below the video, or you can search for Ann Sear Handmade on Etsy. And I think that is it for this one. I'm not sure when this is going to be going up, but I should also have a yarn talk going up this week. So I'll either save this for the weekend or have it go up tomorrow and then have yarn talk probably Friday. We'll see. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye.